If you have trouble setting boundaries, then this video is for you. In this video, I'll discuss why it's so hard for us to set boundaries, how we can be better at setting boundaries, a little personal short story of mine, and just some tips on how to set better boundaries. Hello, everyone. My name is Celeste. If you're new here, I help people from all walks of life achieve their dreams and happiness through manifestation, calmness within oneself, and learning how to better one's own mental health. If that speaks to you, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss weekly motivation and growth tools. We know boundaries protect our peace, yet we hesitate. We want to say no, but we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. We crave balance, yet we've been taught to put others first. Sometimes we finally speak up, but then the guilt creeps in. We wonder if we were too harsh or if the other person will pull away. And that's the tug of war, wanting respect, but being afraid of rejection. The truth is, boundaries do feel uncomfortable at first. They challenge old patterns and stir up fear. Yet they also create freedom, respect, and healthier connections. Boundaries, as stated, can be uncomfortable, but are necessary in protecting your peace and also letting other people know what you will and will not tolerate. I recently had to set a very firm boundary with someone very close to me, and they did not take it well. One thing about me is I do not like confrontation, so boundaries in general are very hard for me. But I know that boundaries are necessary for me to feel peaceful and to know that I need to respect myself and tell others how to respect me. So when I set that firm boundary with that person, they didn't like it. They actually told me that I was changing on them. And honestly, this is something that's going to happen when you start to set boundaries with people that are not used to you setting boundaries with them. They're going to tell you that you're changing up on them and you've turned into this different person. And sometimes they'll try to push your boundaries to see if you are going to falter. But it is important that you stick to your boundaries and know that ultimately you setting boundaries is respecting yourself and telling people how to treat you. Whether it's setting boundaries with your family, setting boundaries at work, setting boundaries in your personal friendships, setting boundaries with your kids, your partner, whoever it is, or wherever it's at, it is so important to, like I said, protect your peace. And just like anything else, boundary setting is all about practice. So in the beginning, it might seem very difficult and you might come off nervous if you're not used to doing it. But one thing that I've learned that has helped me, and I've worked with a therapist on this, is to practice setting boundaries with the person either out loud to my therapist or a friend or talking to someone invisible. I know it sounds pretty like crazy, but practice makes perfect, and that's with anything. They say that with schoolwork, they say that with public speaking. So it's the same thing with setting boundaries. You just have to practice. And then when you're in that position to where you actually have to set the boundary, you've already practiced it a million times on your own. So when you're there, it just comes naturally and you're able to appear strong in setting that boundary. And even if you appear not strong and you're nervous and you're shaky, the point is you're setting the boundary either way, no matter how you come across. And that's going to show the other person or show your work or whatever, whoever it is, that this is a boundary that you can't cross. And it's important to protect my peace. Like many other things I've taught and explained on here, it is hard. It is not easy to all of a sudden go from not setting boundaries to setting all these boundaries. One thing that has helped me is to reevaluate my friendships, my family relationships, my partner relationships, my work, and write down, how can I set better boundaries? Like, what is draining my energy? What what happened recently where I could have set a boundary better? That will give you the clarity in figuring out what is your boundaries. Sometimes we don't know what our boundaries are unless we actually sit down and say, I didn't like working that extra hour of overtime with no pay. Or I didn't like coming in on a weekday when they told me I had the day off. Or I didn't like when my family member tried to tell me who I should be talking to. There's so many different examples, but the main point is that getting specific on what your boundaries are is important so that you know how to protect your peace. You know what you will and will not allow into your life. As stated before, setting boundaries can be very uncomfortable, and we never know how someone's going to react. But what's important is your peace and telling people how to treat you, because ultimately you're the only one living your life. And it's important to live your life how you want to live your life and not trying to people please everyone else. As I always said, easier said than done. Just some reminders that it's uncomfortable. People are going to try to push your boundaries, say that you've changed, things like that. Some people might even pull away, and that's okay. Getting clear about what your boundaries are is very important. And just reminding yourself that to give yourself grace, because all these things, they're hard. I didn't even learn about what boundaries were until I was an adult. And so I wish I would have known when I was younger, but you know what? It's never too late. It's never too late for me. It's never too late for you. We can do it. I hope you like this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know how you're trying to set better boundaries in your life. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.